We are going to have a couple of blankets or towels handy, and we're going to start on our backs. So, just making our way into a place where we can appreciate a little neutrality on our spine. And letting the breath just naturally enter and exit your body. Think about where the hands and arms are most beneficial for you. And let your shoulder girdle relax there. There's this very well-respected yogi who has taken over this ancient ashram. This ancient ashram that's located high up in the Himalayas. Let's give ourselves just about 30 more seconds here, just to settle the center. And when it feels appropriate for you, you can let the eyes open if they are closed. And then let's use an inhale to bring our thighs in towards our torso. So just inhaling and pulling in, letting the hands clasp here on the hamstrings or the shins, whatever feels most appropriate. And just giving yourself a nice little squeeze. Delicate enough that your body can be receptive to it, but engaged enough that you feel the compression in the anterior hip capsule. And then we'll relax the feet back down to the mat. Knees end up bent here, kneecaps towards the ceiling. And let's for a moment just take our right ankle across our left thigh. Now, ideally here we have enough rotation in the right hip that we can get the joint of the ankle beyond the lateral edge of the left thigh so that we can roll the right ankle a little bit. If that isn't there, you can start to lower or extend the left leg, I guess, lower the left knee, so that you find a little bit more room. The goal is to find enough room in our right hip that we have the capacity to roll the ankle and just start one direction and roll from there. And then eventually we're going to reverse the direction of the rotation. Really just trying to feel the ankle's ability to rotate. The more ask we have of the right hip, the more difficult this is. There's a systemic pull that can really make this challenging. And then eventually we're going to relax the right foot back down to the mat, let the bottoms of the feet come together and let the knees fall out wide. And as the knees fall out wide, just relax there. Feel if there's any variance in the right and left ankle. See if there's variance. There's a bilateral asymmetry between the left and right hip. And notice if there's any variance in the way your lungs are respirating. Is there a bilateral asymmetry in lung capacity? Give ourselves just about 30 more seconds here to settle and feel the hips and the ankles. Just 5 seconds here. When it feels appropriate for you, we're going to bring our knees back to neutral so the kneecaps can point towards the ceiling. Think about getting a real balanced connection of both feet, and then let's take the left ankle across the right thigh. And again, we're looking to extend the joint beyond the lateral edge, and then starting a little rotation here. Just moving the ankle joint in its full range capacity in a singular direction. As you're moving, checking in to see if just the rotation of the ankle is changing the way you're respirating, and seeing if you can get back into that natural exchange of inhale and exhale if things have shifted. And then eventually we're going to reverse the direction. I'm thinking about staying with that natural exchange of inhale and exhale. Maybe one or two more full rotations in this direction. And then when you feel complete, we're going to bring that left foot back down to the mat one more time. Let the bottoms of the feet come together and the knees fall out wide. See if you have a little bit more space this time. And so the way that this very well-respected yogi came to be the leader of this ashram was another incredibly well-respected yogi. Had run out of time and passed on that leadership to the person that they saw most fit. ashram community itself was quite small. But every now and then, a new person would come. Last 30 seconds here. And as it happened, a new person had just come to the ashram and just been graciously accepted in by this yogi who had taken over. And as she's kind of touring him around this facility, she's kind of explaining the ancient pillars that are holding up this portion and the ancient wall that's been there for 1,000 years that's in this portion. And this new yogi is arriving and looking at these ancient pillars and these ancient walls and thinking it is a literal miracle that they're standing, that this ashram is standing at all. When it feels appropriate for you, let's bring our knees back together. Let the feet find balance, and then just let the knees fall to one side or the other, whatever side feels most appropriate for you. And we're going to press ourselves up into seat and then into tabletop. As we establish our tabletop and we splay our fingers out and we feel the connection here, just push down into your hands, arch the back, tuck the chin, tuck the tailbone. And then inhale and drop the belly. Lift the chin, lift the tailbone. Exhale, press into the hands, arch the back, tuck the chin, tuck the tailbone. And let's just work through a couple of these spinal articulations at our own respiration rate. Really allowing the duration of the breath to guide the duration of the movement. And taking a conscious approach to the duration of your respiration. Right? If you want the movement to extend, then extend the respiration. If you want the movement to be a little bit more repetitive, if you want more cycles, then shorten the respiration. But make sure that the way you're moving and the way you're breathing is the way that is the most impactful and beneficial for you here. Let's go one more time in each direction. Really letting our spine explore. And then when you feel complete, sinking your way back into child's pose. Settling into your child's pose. Feeling the hip space that you have and thinking about the best way to utilize that hip space. To sink depth into your shape. To bring ease into your shape. And so over the course of the next few days, this new participant in this ashram is kind of given daily tasks. We've constantly shown the ropes. And although this new participant isn't directly working with this new head of the ashram, he sees her pretty frequently. And almost exclusively, he sees her sitting, legs crossed, eyes closed. And he starts to realize that she must be an incredibly powerful yogi. Incredibly powerful, not just because she was given the role as leader of this ashram, but incredibly powerful because it's clear she's using some type of yogic magic to keep this building standing, to keep this ancient pillar a pillar, to keep this ancient wall a wall. Give ourselves 30 more seconds here. Think about that anterior hip crease on both sides of the body, finding balance, and think about the tailbone relaxing back towards the back edge of your mat. And when it feels appropriate for you, we'll let our hands slide out in front of us if they're not already there. We'll pull ourselves forward to hands and knees tabletop. And from tabletop, let's take our left hand to heart center so they have a nice solid base. And then just flip your right hand over and extend that out to the left side of your mat until you come down towards that right shoulder. Now, the key here is we are not hyperextending the proximal humeral head out of the shoulder socket. So we are finding a place where we can get into this little subtle rotation, but we can keep integration in the shoulder. And we're going to land there. And then once we land, we're going to start to spin our wrists in a circle. So we are adding kind of the sister movement to what we did to the ankles here. A nice rotation of the shoulder structure, or a nice expansion, let's say, of the shoulder structure. And then movement through the wrist. And as you're moving the wrist, you may very well feel the stabilization musculature around the shoulder joint. We start to feel how systemic the fascial connections are through the arm. Maybe one more full cycle here. And when you're complete, we're going to reverse the direction of the wrist rotation. Now, as you're moving, as you're potentially feeling the shoulder tissue, think about what's going on in your respiration again. Is the respiration staying soft? Is it staying natural? Is it staying expansive for you? Because that is our true key here. We want to be relaxed, at ease, as we build into this space. And maybe one more full rotation in this direction. Before we bring some strength into that left hand, press ourselves up, bring our right hand and left hand back to equivalent sides of the mat, and one more time sink back into child's pose. One more time is probably the wrong terminology because we will be here again, but sink back into child's pose. Feel the hip crease. Think about what's going on in the shoulders. Think about where the hand should be placed. Maybe it's on the heels or the ankles or still in front of you, stacked into the forehead. But think about where the hand should be placed so that the shoulders can be a part of your awareness. We'll give ourselves just 30 more seconds here. When it feels appropriate for you, we're going to slide our hands out in front of us. Pull ourselves forward to tabletop, and the right hand will come to heart center. We'll flip the left hand over and just let that slide out beyond the right side of our mat, coming down onto that left shoulder, making sure we're staying really well integrated in the left shoulder. And then we'll start that left wrist rotation. Just an exploration of space
while we explore our body's ability to freely respirate here. Really thinking about the way we move and breathe.
And when it feels appropriate for you, we'll reverse the direction of our rotation. And when you feel like you are balanced, when you feel like you're complete, we'll bring some strength into the right hand, press ourselves up so that we can establish tabletop, and one last time truly sink back into child's pose. As we land here, we find that soft capacity for respiration. And we just breathe. So every day as this new yogi would go around doing his cleaning duties, gathering laundry, washing the windows, he would see in various places this head of the ashram as she sat in stillness, using her yogic capacity to strengthen and reinforce walls and rooms. And she was constantly moving around, and this new yogi just assumed that she was moving around into places that needed the most help. It made sense. When it feels appropriate for you, as it feels appropriate for you, let's let our hands slide out in front of us. We'll pull ourselves to tabletop and extend our legs out in front of us for a little staff. As the legs extend, let's just follow them forward into a fold. And as we find our way into fold, let's just allow our body to breathe here. Remember, your knees can bend. Remember, our goal is to be soft and to allow for fluid, easy respiration. We're going to give ourselves 60 more seconds here.
past 20 seconds. And when it feels appropriate for you, let's bring our spine back to vertical. Let's grab those blankets or towels, and we're going to set them up from shelf fold, a roll. So we end up with a nice cylindrical shape. And from shelf fold, a hot dog fold, and then a block fold. So we end up with a block-like, pillow-like structure that can go at the end. They're kind of creating a matchstick here. A blanket that is rolled, that allows your spine to settle, and a blanket that allows your head to be supported. That's going to bump up against the sacrum. Depending on your torso geometry, you may or may not need both blankets. And if any tweaks or adjustments to the propping feels appropriate for you, let's certainly allow that to be done. The goal here is to give our body an elevated spinal column and the ability to just peel open. So palms facing up is idealistic. And so this new yogi made his way around the ashram cleaning and bumping into this very powerful ashram head as she meditated to keep the walls standing. He began to become more and more enthralled with the idea of this woman's capacity. The idea that she was a fierce enough being to constantly be pushing energy out and fighting off gravity, fighting off the destruction of these ancient, seemingly rotting pillars, ancient, seemingly crumbling walls. And so he began to become more and more immersed into the teachings of this ashram, as he saw how powerful it had made this woman. At night, when the Himalayan winds would begin to howl and the windows would rattle, this new yogi would think of how comforting it was to know that the building everyone was living in was protected by this powerful yogi. Think about what is falling open, what is expanding. Think about how your respiration is allowing you to expand. And if your respiration isn't allowing you to expand, think about the tweaks in respiration that can be made that would be more impactful. Letting your body just continually settle with each exhale. Feeling the elevation of the spine and the release from that elevation to the lateral edges of the body. Last 60 seconds here. And when it feels appropriate for you, let's bring our knees into a bent position. We'll let the knees fall to one side or the other, whatever side feels most appropriate. And we'll pull our props out from underneath us. And then work your way back onto your spine. And feel that neutrality. Just settle into that space. Eventually, let's let the bottoms of the feet come together and the knees fall out wide. If you'd like, you can use your props here on either side of the thighs, both sides of the thighs, or no sides of the thighs. Just one last little external rotation of the hips now with quite a bit of space. Quite a bit of space in the spine, quite a bit of space in the hips, the shoulders. You can feel the difference between the first couple times we were here and this time.
your respiration become natural. And we'll give ourselves 60 more seconds here. When it feels appropriate for you, we'll bring our knees to neutral. Let the kneecaps point towards the ceiling for a moment. Feel the sacrum settle and then start a little dynamic rotation of the knees. A little expansion of your lumbar capacity, hip rotational capacity. Really just exploring what feels available to you here. Next time that the knees fall over to the left, let's let them stay there. A nice little graceful landing. Think about the direction of your head that will be most impactful for you. You turn the head to the right, we get the most complete spinal rotation if you keep the head neutral. We end up kind of at a midpoint. You turn the head to the left, it softens the rotation a little bit. Softens the full rotation of the spinal column, but may give you a little bit more room to rotate the lumbar and to rotate the hips. So just keep that in mind. Choose the head placement that's the most impactful for you, beneficial for you. But one thing that this new yogi recognizes is that not a lot of things in the ashram change. His cleaning duties remain pretty consistent and constant.
The other members' duties remain consistent and constant. And the head of this ashram, her meditation practice, consistent and constant. There are times when she's interrupted with brief questions or concerns from the members, but she goes right back to projecting this energy to keep this building, this ancient temple-like building, standing. Check in again with the way that you're respirating. Ensure that the way you're respirating is soft, is supportive, is impactful. We'll give ourselves 60 more seconds on this side. You can bring your knees back to neutral. Feel the lumbar come back to its natural alignment, and then let's pull the thighs in towards the torso. Second time we've done this, let's see if you've found some more space. See if there's more room to breathe here. More room to expand here. And when it feels appropriate, let the feet come down to the mat and the knees fall over to the second side.
One day, high above the ashram, there was a really, really wicked Himalayan storm brewing. And it came in and it dramatically changed the temperatures. The wind was just right. And the snowpack started to give way. This huge avalanche started to roar down the mountains. And this thunderous shifting of snow, trees, and stones roared right by the ashram. Didn't directly hit it, but as it moved by, it vibrated the ground. And the ancient pillar that held up one half of the ashram started to crack and then completely gave way. And the ancient wall that held up the other side of the ashram started to crumble and then completely gave way. When it feels appropriate for you, as it feels appropriate for you, let's bring our knees back to neutral. As the knees come back to neutral, just settle. And then pull the thighs into the torso one last time. Give yourself a nice little squeeze. Little compression of the anterior hip capsule. Eventually, feet come back down to the mat. You just ask yourself if there's anything that you might want, that you might need, that you might benefit from prior to Shavasana. And if there is, we open ourselves to that. And if you have everything you want, if you have everything you need, we just settle into some stillness. We just fully appreciate that. When the dust had settled, everyone's routine was out of whack. There was no more cleaning to do. There was no more windows to shine. No more floors to sweep. No more food to prepare. And so everyone settled into different jobs and of removing rubble. Everyone except for the head of the ashram, who sat in perfect stillness, eyes closed, legs crossed. And this new yogi would see her in a completely different light now, as she sat there with a tranquil look on her face, with all of this destruction around, destruction that she didn't prevent. And we'll just give ourselves complete ease here.
days later, after spending so much time cleaning up rubble and watching the head of this ashram sit there blissfully, peacefully, this new kind of apprentice yogi snaps. He goes over to her and he brings her out of her meditative space. You failed this community. You let this building get destroyed, and you're not helping pick it up. And what's the deal? I was so enthralled by your power to protect this place. She kind of looks around, and she smiles, and she says, "Yes, the ashram is gone completely." And she just pauses in this huge smile. We'll start to bring some movement to our fingers and our toes. And this new yogi is just like waiting and waiting, and then realizes that there's nothing else coming. And so he says, and what does that mean? Why did you let this place get destroyed? And she kind of chuckles and says, like, I didn't let this place get destroyed. An avalanche came. Movement into our wrists, ankles, elbows, knees. And the new yogi's like, I know an avalanche came, but I thought you were protecting this place, keeping it up. And she said, I can't, I'm not protecting this place. I can't do that. That's not within my capacity. I'm not stronger than the power of an avalanche. Movement to your shoulders, your hips, your neck, your head, your entire body starts to move. You let that movement travel through you, and eventually we'll find our way into a seat. In this seated space, spine gets tall, breath gets fluid, eyes close. Finally, the head of this ashram, she looks around and she says, "Look, everything is destroyed. You would agree?" The new yogi says, "Yes, everything's destroyed. That's why I'm talking to you." She says, "But the teachings are the teachings." The new yogi's like, "What are you talking about?" And she sees that there's no recognition here. And she says, "Look, everything in my world was this ashram, and it's gone. But I'm still here with a smile on my face." With your next inhale, we'll bring our hands together, heart center. Over the course of the next 7 days, can you remind yourself that you do not have to control, handle, fix the world. If you can handle yourself, everything else takes care of itself. Let's see how that impacts your experience. Thank you so much for being a part of this morning's practice and for being you. Namaste.